It's showtime. All right, hey everybody, welcome. This is going to be super fun. We're going to break down 3 steps to successful scaling for your meta ads and honestly your business. These are honestly some stuff that either people don't know or they do know and they're not telling you. But we're going to break down 3 very fundamental things that honestly I'm just not seeing anybody else talk about. And hopefully more than anything, what you're going to find is a new way of thinking about what you're doing in a way that'll make making money a lot easier. And we've got some very special announcements. First off, this Wednesday, for free, we're doing a webinar, disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar. Check it out. We're launching Disruptor Academy. There's a bunch of fun stuff, but check out, sign up there. It is 100% free. We're going to be actually breaking down a lot of what we talk about today in extreme detail. I wanted to try to do this in a few different ways, and I felt like the absolute best way was doing it as a webinar so that we could have a lot of back and forth instead of just making another YouTube course where I have to answer questions and comments and then do all the stuff. We're going to have a full-on like workshop, like power hour masterclass session. It's going to be more than an hour probably. But anyway, this is going to be super fun. So check it out, disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar. This will be huge. All right, now, like we do every week, what we're going to do is answer all of your questions from the day. And we're also going to go into the community on YouTube Studio, and we're going to break down all of your questions from the week. We launched a bunch of great videos this week. There was the DPA masterclass that we did with Dan Pantello from Marpipe. And if you are running anything on catalog ads, then that is mandatory viewing. We also launched another great course video. We've been launching these shorter course videos, trying to make them easier for you guys to understand how to focus on your budget and campaign planning so you can maximize the money that you spend. And with all that being said, we're going to break down secrets to scale today. 3 simple steps to make sure that your meta ads are successful as possible, to change the way that you think about running your ads. With that being said, let's get started. I'm going to roll the intro. Let me know where you're from. Let's go.
Everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Little Charlie girl down here was just like head banging and stuff. Super fun. All right, so first thing we're going to do today, once again, reminder, for free, disruptorschool.com meta master webinar. It's in the description of this video. Go there. It's 100% free. 100% free. Sign up. We're going to try to make this thing as big as possible. And if it's a big success, believe me, we got bigger plans. We are rolling out a whole bunch of stuff. Now, all that to be said, let's get into it. So we're going to break down the first step that just nobody's talking about. We're going to break that down right now, then get to some of your questions. If you have any questions you want us to address today, throw them into the chat. And now let's get started. So first thing we're going to get into today, first step that I want you to start looking at when it comes to your meta ads is I want you to start to look at your actual gross profit per transaction. Now, one of the sexiest things that people do is, well, we're going to run cost caps, get sales for as cheap as possible. And then maybe we're also going to do CRO to raise AOVs and all that other stuff. You got to understand that that 2 ads going to the same landing page are going to have different average order values. And that's going to happen for 3 reasons. Number one, first off, just because your ad exists doesn't mean that's the product that people are buying. Like McDonald's pushes out the Big Mac, but you might go to get yourself a milkshake and fries. The point is that people don't always necessarily buy what it is that you're selling, when what you're selling might be your hero product or something sexy just bring them into the store. So you got to understand, if you were to add average order value as a custom column in your Facebook ad dashboard, your ads are all going to have completely different values. Now, what really matters is the gap between AOV and CPA. Of course, there's LTV and all that other fun stuff too. But the gap between AOV and CPA, okay, honey, here you go. What we also call gross profit per transaction. We can begin to start focusing on that, which is an incredibly important number, because also it puts in the CPA, the ROAS, the AOV, it puts it into context. You're going to have to start tracking these things. Now, this is something that we talked about a couple weeks ago inside the Facebook Ads MBA program and inside Disruptor School Inner Circle. Shout out to the Inner Circle right now. We are getting people to basically join almost every single day on the new offer, 3 months, $2,500 comes with 2 consulting hours. It has been an incredible boon. And I'm stoked for our call next week about in there and all this stuff. Like we dive into ad accounts and do all sorts of fun things. Anyway, bottom line, let's not get that today. Today's big value is the Meta Master Webinar, 100% free. Just join that. All that to be said. Getting down to the next bit. What we want to do is basically make a custom column in our dashboard called gross profit per transaction. And this is going to tell us the gap between our average order value and cost per purchase. Now, why does this matter? Well, because not all money is created equal and not all money costs the same. And this is what really matters. I, for instance, was breaking down a brand earlier this week, and they were selling multiple products inside of a campaign, which we shouldn't do, but whatever. And they were a clothing company, and they had jeans and t-shirts and overshirts and all sorts of fun stuff. Now, if you were to optimize towards CPA and run a cost cap, the ad with the lowest cost per purchase is going to get the sale or going to get the spend. Right now, here's the problem. Those ads overwhelmingly also have a higher CPM and a higher frequency. The reason that they're super efficient is because Facebook is using them further down the funnel. And we'll get to a bit more of that here in a little bit. But also, those ads may or may not be buying the best customer. Now, if you, for instance, are selling a product for $50 and your ads are the higher CPM, higher frequency, they don't get enough budget, you try to scale and then they always break, but they're the ones the cost cap spend on. Let's say they make a sale for $35. Well, you made $15 gross profit per transaction on that sale. Now, what if there was another ad that cost $40 or $45 to make the sale, but it never got to spend on the cost cap because the cost was more expensive, and you optimized out of it because it was above average on cost? But what if the AOV on that was, say, $75? Because those people overwhelmingly took an upsell. What that means is you are making $15, the 50 minus 35. Instead of making $30, the 70 minus 40 or 75 minus 45. At $10 more per transaction, you could be making twice as much gross profit. If you're starting to look at your business as the ability to acquire cash flow, you're going to stop looking at it as low CPA equals success. Low CPA, sure, it's a thing, but it's not actually what matters. And one of the things we're going to get into in the Meta Master webinar, but we just don't have time here, is understanding what parts of your business you're actually going to be amplifying. Are you looking for a cash flow device where you're willing to take less money? Because in this case, let's say somebody that buys the 3-pack of t-shirts is really like, those people overwhelmingly come back in the next month and buy 2 more sets of it. And like the LTV on that is phenomenal. Great. You don't need to get those people to take the bundle right up early because you know you're buying as many people who are more likely to buy a second time. That's a cash flow device. There's also a volume of transactions device where you're just reducing your blended CPA. That's a situation where, yes, CPA really matters. And honestly, in that situation, cost caps aren't nearly as good or Advantage Plus maybe as catalog ads. You should probably be figuring out the most effective way to generate the highest volume of sales. And fun fact, when you focus on CPA and you start focusing on these ads with higher frequencies and higher CPMs, you're reaching fewer people. And what that does more than anything when you scale them up is it gives you less new email addresses, less Google searches, less Amazon sales. You are making Facebook more effective in a way that ultimately starves the rest of the business. I've seen people make Facebook ads so good they went out of business. Okay, sweetheart. There you go. So you have to start to understand unit economics of the way that your business works. And almost always lowering your CPA is a path to destroying your brand if that's your KPI. Not that lower CPAs are bad, but that's not equivalent to money. Lower CPAs doesn't mean you're making more money. Lower attributed CPAs generally means that you're saying success is getting less incremental sales by letting Facebook also take credit for a sale that happens on Google and email, and then trying to take as much volume from Google email as possible. Okay, sweetheart, come here. And the reason that this is really important that you need to be focusing on this is, let's say, for instance, you have one ad at a $20 CPM and a 1.1 frequency. And you have another ad at a $30 CPM and a 1.5 frequency. One of those ads is reaching exponentially more people, right? 1.1 frequency versus 1.5, same dollar spent. One of them is reaching fewer people more often, right? 5 times as often. You're reaching a smaller group of people. And that one is also more expensive. So not only are you reaching fewer people more often, but it costs you more money to get those impressions, meaning that ultimately that ad should be more efficient. But what really matters for your bottom line is that it also means you're providing way less incremental lift to all of your other marketing channels. If you're reaching far fewer people and the people that you reach are also more likely to buy anyway, your Facebook ads can look amazing and you'll never be able to scale your business. You're going to be focusing on the wrong things. And literally nobody else is talking about this stuff because honestly, again, they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a fuck about your bottom line. It's really sexy to tell somebody how they can spend money at a low CPA. It's a completely less sexy thing on like the surface level to tell somebody how they can build a successful business. But there's a big difference between somebody who can spend $1 million on Facebook and somebody who can put $1 million in profit in your bank account every month. These are the kinds of things I want you to start focusing on. These are the kinds of things that actually really, really, really matter. And then the other side of what you should be looking at inside your ad account, when we're talking about the 3 different ways of making money, is profit volume devices. And this is where understanding that gross profit per transaction really helps. If you have an item where the CPA is $20 higher, let's say from instead of $20, let's say instead of $20, a $30 CPA, it's a $50 CPA. But the AOV instead of being 45 is 105. One of those makes you a lot more money per transaction. So do you want to have the most future cash flow? Do you want to have the highest volume of transactions, which gets you the lowest CPA across your entire business? Or do you want to make the most money per transaction? Now, the right answer is honestly probably all of those at different levels. But if you're not looking at your ad account in that way, you're not running a successful business. You are a salesperson. And generally, the more you optimize your efforts to be a salesperson, the more you cripple the growth potential of the brand. So the first step in your meta ad scaling success is understanding the gross profit per transaction and incrementality of your marketing. Otherwise, you're completely fucked. All right, we're going to get to the 2 other ones right after this. But right now, what I really want to do is let's get into the community. And we've been talking about this forever. We do this every single week. So let's get to it. Let's get to your comments and questions from the week. Little Charlie girl, you with me here? All right, here we go. Awesome. By the way, let me know where you're from. I love seeing all the eyeballs here. It's so fun to do these chats. I just love you guys. And again, sign up for the masterclass on Wednesday. DisruptYourSchool.com, Meta Master Webinar. It's 100% free. All right. So, Dr. Sense T Pets, you talk the talk and walk the walk on this channel. Damn right we do. Love it. I am just glad not everyone is following your ideas yet, as this gives me a chance to stay ahead of the game. Keep going. Love your style and ideas. I'm about to take your course next month. Too exciting times. Fantastic. I mean, I love being your secret. Please tell other folks there's plenty of money to go around. But yeah, like if you want to know what everybody else is going to talk about in 2 years, you can pay attention to me today. If you want to know what everybody's going to be thinking about in a year, you can listen to me today. And if you want the advice that actually works, you can listen to me today versus listening to somebody else copying an idea and then filtering it through somebody else and then packaging it in a way where they can look smart in something that's unproven so that you can understand what you should have done a year and a half ago. Hey, and if that's the case, pay attention to everybody else. But what we're talking about, the gross profit, the growing your Instagram account stuff, the unit economics conversation, the brand development conversation, these are things people are going to be talking about in a year or 2. Like, people don't know what they're doing. They're focused on getting attention and not getting fired. Most ad agencies and most gurus and experts are focused on maximizing day 1 revenue. I'm focused on building a good relationship with you so that we don't have to worry about day 1 revenue because every month gets bigger. And that's something that's been happening inside Disruptor School for 2 years in a row now. Every month is a little bit bigger than last month. Obviously, there's a bit of an up and down, but it's phenomenal when you just have more and more people bringing in more and more of their friends to create more and more success for everyone. And the only person that loses is all of those shyster, scammer, guru ad agencies that are losing more and more clients because their clientele are coming to us and we're fixing it so they never need to hire anybody else ever again. That's what we do here. All right. that was we'll get to this video too a little bit later, the perfect Facebook ad. Stick around. In about 40 minutes, we will be doing a bunch of that stuff. And I love the chat going on live. Let's actually address this. Danilo from ATL. Good to see you, buddy. Every week you're here, buddy. I love to see it. And hey, man, if you haven't signed up for that webinar yet, buddy, go ahead and sign up for it. I promise there's going to be some value in there, my dude. I really hope you check it out. And man, look, the quarterly plan for you, dude, is going to be amazing for the Inner Circle thing. Just check it out. We've already done some one-on-ones. Imagine baking that in, and basically the Disruptor School is free at that point. All right, so let's get to the DPA Masterclass. All right, Haroon, do you look at how Facebook ranks your ads inside of your ad account, the quality metrics, etc.? You can. If you have a Facebook rep, you can also ask for your ad fatigue by ad and all of that other stuff. And here's the thing: high-performing ads generally have a higher ad fatigue. And high-performing ads generally have a lower quality ranking. Why? Because they're direct response ads that are better at getting the sale. They are ads that people are less likely to want to see because they are more aggressive at getting the sale. They are bottom-of-funnel adverts. They're bottom-of-funnel adverts. Do I care about the quality rankings? No. Do I look at them? No. What I care about is business results. And overwhelmingly, if you only try to scale bad ads that have a high CPM and high frequency, you're not going to be able to scale. And the quality ranking is the CPM and the frequency. You don't need the metrics. All right. Hey, Charlie, I need your help to run my ads. What are the requirements? Mohammed, check out the, honestly, we're going to dive into a lot of that stuff, but I think I question whether or not you need my help. Check out the disruptorschool.com Meta Master Webinar. The thing we've got going on here, down on the bottom of the screen. If you jump into that, I'm sure we can put a lot of confidence and success in your hands, and we can see how much help you actually need, and then we'll go from there. All right. All right. Sunshine, love to see you both in one frame. Hey, Sunshine. Yeah, I love to see us both in one frame too. Ben is a solid guy. Unlike most other people in this space, he has the integrity to stand behind what he says, have a conversation with somebody who doesn't agree, and explain himself. You will not find most people in this industry having that level of integrity. It's unfortunate, but then I very much respect what he's doing and how he handles himself. And I think that it was incredible to have a conversation with him. You can check out the Are You Missing These Ad Mistakes? And the honest truth is, I don't think we totally agreed on everything. And that's amazing. All right. Back to the masterclass strategies. Awesome interview. So in a nutshell, 1 DABA, 1 DP, retargeting a 10,000 audience, review content, or add to cart. Yes. After that, curate your product view with best performers. Yes. Also optimize for the ones with the best customer journey, second purchase rate. Yes. And make different catalogs for different business objectives. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this. Purpose 6113 understood the assignment. I love it. Also, Purpose 6113, if you come into the Meta Master Webinar, we're going to help you understand how to appropriately align your catalogs with the different business objectives of future cash flow, volume of transactions, and profit margins. Like, yeah, Christiana, are these actually live? Yes, these are actually live. I'm reading your comment right now, live, right here. Here we go. These are actually live. Okay. And hey, buddy, good to see you. Okay. And dude, if you show up for the Meta Master Webinar next on Wednesday, like I'd love to have you in there and we can dive into more things. Okay. Check it out. It's 100% free. Just go ahead and do it. It is amazing. And good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Where are you from, Cristiano? I'm definitely butchering that name. All right. Anyway, fantastic. All right. Tommy D, great stuff as always. This is a chat that I had. Oh yeah, this is a good chat. Your lessons have been invaluable. I have one sticking point that's hampering me for months. Has to do with choosing a hero product. We sell decorative switch covers. Cool. We have over 300 designs. Cool. Do we consider each design its own product? Yes. Theoretically, could you make a case that we sell one product with over 200 variations? Yes. We consider USP to be the number of unique designs that we offer. Okay, awesome. Here's the thing, Tommy. So far, we've been sending on our homepage. Don't hate it. Do you think there's a way we should go just selling the best selling designers, our hero offer, and have that being our landing page? Look, Tommy D, there's a couple things here. Again, we can dive deeper in the webinar on Wednesday. We can talk in through how to understand whether you should be looking at the volume of product and the hero product. Honestly, I think you have stuff that kind of falls into two. of those line items, and we're talking about the 3 steps to meta ad scaling success. Like the first step is vitally important to where you're at. What I would be doing, to be completely honest with you, Tommy, is look at the profitable scaling margin across each one of those designs and understand if there are certain batches that get more people to buy more from you more often than other ones. Those would be my hero products. And then start to build out offer construction around the products. Can you batch things together? Can you bundle things together? What can you do to get somebody to pay you more than once? Your offer will become your hero offer. The product and featured in the offer will be the means of opportunity to get there. There's a lot more to unpack here, but I regretfully have not been able to make it past even the last week in all the videos. So we're going to dive more deeper into this. And that's what the webinar is for on Wednesday. If you check out disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar, we're going to dive through all that stuff, and we're going to be able to answer all of your questions in deep detail, and also let you know how to get a lot more of your questions answered in extreme detail. There's more secrets and more fun stuff coming. Anyway, mastering catalog ads. This is from Raul. I have a question. I have some campaign in which I run good ads with better ROAS. In these campaigns, there were some bad ROAS running as well as switched off. Now, if I want to run more ads, should I run the same campaign or start a different campaign altogether? One, I don't know if you want to run more ads. Also, if you turned off the bad ads, I wonder if the good ads would continue to scale. ROAS is not the definition of success. Return on ad spend and money are not the same thing. And man, I feel like a broken record. At the disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar, we're actually going to break down why ROAS is a complete trash metric and not what you should be looking at. And in fact, the first thing that we talked about today is a much more effective way of looking at your results and then beginning to understand incrementality across all of your marketing efforts, which sneak peek is the second step. These are the things that we really need to be focused on. But if you're going to run more ads, do not start more campaigns. The more campaigns you run, the dumber your machine is. All right. Brazil, but live in California. All right. Bonjour. Live in California. I also live in California. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Found the best Facebook ad strategy. Love it. Dimitri, you cannot customize format for different placement and flexible ads. You just upload 4x5, which is not ideal for stories. 9x16. Is it better to create 3 separate ad sets and 2 formats? No, yes, same 3-2-2, but with customized format for each ad. Let me ask you this, Dimitri. Why do you need your ads to be fit in every format? Why? Why do you need your ad to look good in stories? Have you proven that stories is more valuable than a normal feed placement? Do you need to be everywhere all the time, all at once doing a bad job? Or do you want to do the things that you do well and just do more of it? You're right. You cannot customize your format for different placements. And my point to that is that's a good thing. You can focus on just doing the thing that you need to do. And if you find that Reels and Stories placements is valuable and that's an opportunity for you, make dedicated creative for that. You can do C+ work and try to jam it into every problem you have, or you can do A+ work in the places that actually provide the most value. Focus on providing more value and making more money is really easy. All right. Nada. All right. Something that I'm not sure I understand. The campaign structure should be 1 campaign with 3 ad sets for each stage in the funnel, TOF, MOF, BOF, and that includes relevant stage ads for each ad set. So this is on our meta ads course from setup to scaling success. No, Nada. Nadav, I don't know. We're not interested in having 3 different ad sets for each stage in the funnel. Your creatives will be used by the platform differently. And we're going to address this here in just a minute in our second step. Also, again, broken record. We're going to be diving deeper into this type of thing when we get into the Meta Master webinar. I got about 45 minutes of stuff laid out, and all of these questions today seem to be just piling straight into it, which is amazing. We're trying to answer all of those questions in much deeper depth. All right, so I don't want you to have ad sets for each stage of the funnel. I want you to be focusing on making the best ads you can to meet the business objectives that are necessary for you, and then understand how the platform is using your ads. So when you want to scale your efficiency or your spend, you know the most effective way of trying to accomplish that task. That's what really matters. So I know that is a maybe not terribly direct answer, but I hope that what we do give you here is the idea that having ad sets by part of funnel is a very antiquated way of doing things. Basically, since 2017, that was the wrong way of doing things. So let me help you save 6 years, 7 years, 8 years of heartache and just avoid doing that. All right. COVID era marketers will tell you all day that that's the way to go, but that's because they have no idea what they're doing. I mean, by COVID era marketer, I mean anybody that got good after 2018. There's a functional gap in their knowledge. All right, two proven money making things. ASC. Okay, if I'm understanding this correctly, CBO when the ad fatigues, take it to ASC and then to cost cap. Yeah, absolutely. Learning. The point here is if you have post IDs. Eventually, if they don't provide value in an equal playing field, we can then leverage ASC to show those ads to people who are in the buying market so that we create even more fatigue, but we might be able to get a little bit more opportunity out of it. And if that doesn't work, then just throw it in a cost cap campaign and see if you get lucky. And then eventually you can just filter that stuff out. But there is a value to each post ID. And honestly, I wouldn't even be worrying about setting this stuff up unless you can afford to support 4 or 5 campaigns. And the honest truth is, unless you're spending $20,000, $30,000 or you're getting hundreds of transactions a day, getting down this rabbit hole is probably a waste of your time. All right, Curtis, 4PI. I think that was for a giveaway there, so I hope you got that. All right, episode 1, how many DCTs in one Facebook ad campaign? Charles, by far, this is the best video. When you say one campaign, does that apply to ASC also, or are you referring to CBO manual sales campaign? I'm talking about anything. You should have one campaign per business objective. I would not have 2 campaigns designed to deliver the same business result. So, I hope that answers that question by not addressing it head on, but also answering it with like a more valuable answer. All right, we got through one day. So let's break down part number 2. And we got some more questions here. So let's get to the chat. Danilo says, do you think the incoming administration helps or hurts our businesses, ads, marketing, etc.? History shows us that generally speaking, in the years following a Democrat in office, you have a stronger economy than when they took over from a Republican. But by the end of that Republican's time in office, the economy is in a worse place than when that Republican took over office. Generally speaking, I think we have a 18 to 24 month boom ahead of us. And then the negative ramifications of a poorly managed economy will begin to hit. And at that point in time, Danilo, I hope you're out of the game by exiting your business anyway. So, like, bottom line is, I think you've got a window to take opportunity and market share. And by the end of that, I hope it's not a problem anyway. Does that help? I hope that helps. Okay. And that's just for whatever, not a political opinion, just like when you look at the actual data, basically, if you were to line up the economy and then who's in office, inherently speaking, 6 months after a Democrat takes office is worse than 6 months after a Republican takes office because they inherit the regime before them. And then it takes a while to fix things. And that goes back to like the 70s. Basically every economic crash in the United States history for the last 50 years has happened because of Republican policy. And every bull market that we've seen in the last 50 years has happened under Democrats. That's just the way that it works. The 90s boom happened under Clinton. The 8-year boom that basically everybody got into e-commerce and D2C and all that stuff happened under Obama. And you could say, well, yeah, but there was the crash and all sorts of stuff that happened under Obama. Yeah, because of the housing policies put forward and the lack of restriction and policies that were allowed by Bush ultimately created a change in economic policy and tax structures that took about 12 to 18 months to hit. Which basically set off a time bomb that went off about 6 to 8 months after Bush took office. And then if you look at Trump, the United States debt doubled under his regime. And under Biden, basically every single year, and the rate of inflation dropped and the wage gap decreased. And the rate at which prices got more expensive was slowed down. So just not to get into politics, just to get into economics and undeniable facts. Those are the kinds of the truth. Anyway, let's get into it. The second step to maximizing your meta ad scaling is to understand that the funnel and your ads are 2 different things. Your customer journey and your marketing funnel, 2 very different things. Your customer does not exist solely in your funnel. They exist in a funnel and a customer journey that's much bigger than you. And again, we'll get into more of this in the Meta Master Webinar, disruptorschool.com, Meta Master Webinar, the class on Wednesday. It's 100% free. But what you have to understand is when you're shopping around for something, say you're shopping around for like a cell phone case, there's 100 businesses that are shopping you for a cell phone case. You're in the market for this product. The company selling the cell phone case doesn't need to make you aware that you have a phone and then make you aware that they make cases for it and then try to sell you one. You're in various parts of your customer journey. You might not have a phone. You might not have ever had a case. You might have had 3 of their competitors' cases. You might have been happy. You might have been unhappy. The point is, every single customer is at a different stage of their customer journey. The way that your ads are used in the platform has almost nothing to do with the actual customer journey. Facebook is deciding how to show people your ads based on the quality of their experience, both with seeing your content and going on your landing page. The lower the quality of experience, the higher the CPM. The closer that ad is to the sales point, meaning that the person that clicks on that ad is most likely to make a transaction and it appeals to a smaller group of people, those ads tend to have a higher frequency and are more efficient. If an ad appeals to a lot of people, it's very rarely a hard sales ad. It's an ad that generally has a lower CPM, a lower frequency, and a higher CPA. An ad that is really good at getting a sale, say for instance, a static ad that has features and benefits on it. That ad tends to have a higher frequency, a higher CPM because it's sitting lower in the funnel in how Facebook is using it. And they generally are more efficient. The CPA on those are lower. What matters to you is to understand if your frequency by day is a 1.1, that means 10% of people are seeing that ad twice. That ad is basically 90% prospecting. If your frequency is a 1.5, that means 50% of people are seeing your ad at least twice today. That means 50% of your budget is being used to retarget people with that ad in the same day. It is functionally a retargeting ad, even if the audience is broad, even if it's a lookalike, even if you're excluding everybody. If somebody's being retargeted by that ad in the same day, and that's 50% of people, that is a retargeting ad, and generally will have a higher CPM and a better efficiency, but won't scale because it only appeals to people who are already ready. If your ad overcomes objections, but nobody has an objection because they've never seen you before, that ad won't appeal to them, so they won't see it. The way that your ads are used in the funnel within Facebook is very different than somebody's customer journey. When you begin to understand what part of that you can optimize for and what problems you need to overcome, you're going to stop having ads that fatigue by basically taking off your bottom funnel ads and trying to scale them and focusing more and more on your bottom funnel ads and saying that 20-30% growth every year is good because you're starving the opportunity of every other marketing channel. The purpose of Facebook ads is to amplify a good business model, not to dry a business model up by making the top of the funnel as efficient as possible when it comes to sales. That's not the job. That's a stupid idea. And the people that push it out there either A, don't know how Facebook works, or 2, do know how Facebook works, but don't give a fuck about you. And remember the mantra here, folks. They don't give a fuck about you. If you want to grow your business, you have to stop paying attention to people that push an agenda that isn't built around how the platform is being used and how to benefit your business model. That's what we actually try to focus on here. That's what the webinar is all about. The way we're going to be teaching you to master meta ads isn't like what button to push. It's how to understand your unit economics of your business so that you can begin to understand how the platform functions so that you can amplify your business model with Facebook ads and ultimately set yourself up for success. Steven, not in front of the baby. Believe me, this baby has heard a lot more, and she's also asleep. Like fully just passed out. But I do appreciate that, Steven. Thank you. Where are you at, Steven? You're a new face, buddy. Where are you coming from? All right. So that's step number 2. All right, let's get back to some of the questions here. My 14-day view content audience is 10,000 events, but TPA ad says it's less than 1,000 people in that audience. Should I be looking at a longer time frame or just strictly events? It seems like an audience would be more important to you so you don't stress events. Here's the thing. I'm totally fine that your view content is 10,000, but your audience is maybe 1,000. That means the average person might view 10 pages. If it works, you can scale it. If it doesn't work, you can get more focused. The purpose of a 10K audience is basically giving you a canary in the coal mine that lets you understand this should either work or it doesn't. If it does work, you can scale it. And if it doesn't work, then you understand that retargeting is not going to work for you. Catalog will not work for you. If that 10K audience is unsuccessful, then going down this path is not for you. And you need to figure out something else in your business. That is ultimately understanding Does this strategy have legs? And if you're seeing this not work, the answer is no. New York, Steven. I live in New York sometimes too. Let me know where you're at, buddy. I got a joint in Chelsea around like 14th and 8th. Awesome. All right, let's get into here. Best meta ads course. The problem is meta ads is their metrics can't be trusted. I ran some test ads using simple website tools to measure click-through, and meta just plain up lied. No, it didn't. Just understand that not all data is completely trackable. And the problem with ads isn't that their metrics can't be trusted. It's that if you need to trust their metrics, it's because your business isn't set up to be successful by an amplification tool. And more importantly, it means that you don't understand digital marketing, because the idea is not to be able to attribute any action. The idea is that if you turn up the volumes, you make more money. If the answer is yes, spend more money. If the answer is no, fix it. Has nothing to do with things like metrics, and click-through rate is a completely nonsense metric when it comes to Facebook ads. Also, sometimes your click-through rate is going to be different than the actual amount of clicks, because a click on an ad can very well just be clicking the see more button, or the stop button, or the play button, or clicking on the name of the account and going to their page. So just for what it's worth, coin op animator, let's slow your roll a little bit. I think you got a lot more opportunity than you think you do. Awesome. Upper West Side. Man, I thoroughly enjoy the Upper West Side. I need to probably spend some more time there. I'm a basic bitch. I just go to Zabars. What can I say? Awesome. I wish I knew how to speak Spanish, but I think this is probably a pretty solid thing. Let's find out. What does this say? Show results in English. What does it say? What does it say? Can somebody translate this for me? Let's see. Very good. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right. Kaiser the Redbeard. Incredible content, Charlie. Looking for your next upload. I smashed the thumbs up button on your video. Keep up with the sounding work. Your insights on optimizing ad budgets are invaluable. How do you recommend balancing risk with determining the ideal budget for a new campaign, especially in fluctuating market conditions? Kaiser the Redbeard, that's an absolutely awesome material. Okay, thank you, Danilo. See, I don't know Spanish. Hopefully she does. We'll see. If I raise the baby right, she'll be fluent by the time she's like 5. How do you recommend balancing risk and determining the ideal budget? Honestly, don't spend money you can't afford to lose. And don't spend money where you can't track the impact. That's not the best answer, but it's the most actionable one I can give you without diving further into the way that you look at stuff. Dark man beats your face. Okay. Such a great guy for giving so much value. You're welcome, sir. This is on the high ticket. I just literally build high ticket ads live in this video. Super fun. Flex ads. Are flex ads still performing? Yep. What is Golden Bear? We talked about that one. Power of broad targeting. Bro, I've literally been facing this issue for weeks now. Everywhere I see people talk about broad targeting, how it's best for e-com businesses. There you go, man. All right, ultimate guide for success. Volume 1. Your videos are so valuable. I'm just starting getting Facebook ads when very much more educational. If you didn't show your face all the time, well, I mean, thank you. Maybe show more visuals on half the screen. Regina, we do that all over the place. Just the it's in Portuguese. Okay, see, Danilo, see, this is why I need to be more cultured, man. Where's our homie from Brazil, Cristiano? Not telling me this is Portuguese. At least I know that Brazil. Wait, there we go. What's going on? Some structured stuff. Regina, you hopped in and watched a 5-hour video that was very much direct to camera. There are plenty of other videos where we do screen shares, some of it all the way through the whole time. Sometimes I rarely ever even show up. Also, in our webinar on Wednesday, the disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar, 3/4 of that thing is a screen share walking through every single step of the way with visual guides for the whole thing, so that even if you don't speak English, it'll have value to you. All right. Awesome. Ad Advantage. Can't wait. Hoping you can cover advertising affiliate deals. I advertise products using Meta in European countries. I'm in Africa. Love it. And honestly, everything that we talk about completely works for affiliate. It's just a matter of understanding that the affiliate deal, you're not looking into future cash flow. So day one profitability is really important. So your LTV is basically one transaction. Otherwise, everything's the same. Cool. When I click on the link for the begin to win, it says it's $100, not $7. Yes, since this video went live, we did raise the price. It was $7 7-day trial with $50 a month. We had people sticking in that for so long. We've now just made it $100 flat rate. And actually, on the Meta Master webinar, we're going to offer people an opportunity of getting it for $50. So go ahead and check that out. Disruptorschool.com/Meta Master webinar this Wednesday. Go check it out. Okay, cool. Lenny. Can you show how to pull a report for this, showcasing the sequence from CPA to upsell ad for one buyer journey? Is there a way to automate custom conversion events? Something similar here. Lenny, we've done this multiple times inside the Facebook Ads MBA program and inside of Disruptor School Inner Circle. Lenny, I think for you, the number one move, if you're not ready to jump into the Inner Circle, again, we have a great promotion right now, 3 months for $2,500, and that includes 2 hours of one-on-one time with me, as well as the Begin to Win bundle that Amanda P was talking about, which was $100 instead of $7. You get all of that baked in there, and we can literally just set this thing up for you so that you never have to ask this question again. We can literally build it live inside your ad account, so you have it in forever. Okay, cool. A safe wallet. I appreciate the clickbait. 100%. Thank you. I hope and pray for your families. Thank you so much. Yes, the fires have been wild over here. Let's see here. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for the content. I wanted to ask you for your webinar campaign or VSL registration to a high-ticket products where you are for a webinar campaign or VSL registration to sell high-ticket products where you later have to close or qualify the lead. Would you use lead campaigns or conversion with the registration target? The honest answer is it really depends on your business model and your funnel. I have done this with lead campaigns, and I've done it with conversion campaigns where we can have a registration, we can have engaged leads, and really understanding the value, volume, and cost of that funnel is where I would get you the most value here. And man, broken record, we're back to it again. DisruptorSchool.com/meta master webinar. We're going to break down how you can be looking at your value, volume, and cost through your funnel, whether it's high ticket VSL, high ticket products, or like $5 a month for 1,000 years subscription products. All of it functions in the same way, and we're going to break down how to look at all of that stuff in the webinar. So again, disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar. Your answer will be right there. All right, let's get to just 7 days, and then we'll get back to the last question. Does 3-2 ads work when the ads are completely different? Don't make the ads completely different. You can have 3 different variation hooks, absolutely. But if the ads are completely different, then you're not actually testing ads. You're misusing the tool, right? It's like using cost caps to scale your business. It's misusing the tool. You can get more low-hanging fruit, but it's not scalable. So look for scalability, sustainability, and predictability. Waiting, love it, man. I love how you guys are just waiting for these videos now. I'm trying to let you know the premiere is happening as far out as we possibly can. Hi, Charlie. Like you talked about the disadvantages of the flexible format. I love it. Well, there's 3 disadvantages. Number 1, it's going to be harder for you to know exactly what's working. Now the upside to that is, to be fair, knowing exactly what's working doesn't tell you why it's working, and you have to be right 100% of the time every single day in order for understanding what's working to be an actionable bit of insight. Another disadvantage of the flexible format is that you're going to spend money on ads that don't work. So if you can hit a home run on ad number 1, you're going to have more waste in the flexible ad format than if you don't. However, if you're not 100% right 100% of the time, not spending all of your money on one ad might be a value add. There's a learning curve to it. And it's an understanding whether or not you're willing to invest in a learning curve, or you want to take your shot, call your shot ahead of time and just see if you're right. For what it's worth, I'd rather not try to be right 100% of the time. Just help me empower the machine to be better for me all of the time. The other disadvantages for lead gen ads, you're not able to extract post IDs. Only fool writing. All right, okay, this shit can be applicable to smaller accounts, but this dude is speaking from experience when you spend a lot of money for large companies. Trust me, when you can throw 50 to 100,000 a day at ads, of course you need to have broad targeting. Of course you need dynamic creative setup, because the algo has the money to test thousands of variations very quickly. Most dudes are spending like $20 a day. They don't need to scale. They'll be waiting forever for their fucking dynamic ads to optimize and provide results. The honest truth is, man, whether you're spending $20 a day or 20,000 a day, I would still use dynamic ads. The bottom line is, if you're only spending $20 a day and you're not using dynamic ads, you're going to live and die by your ability to be correct when you build your ad. And if you're not 100% correct 100% of the time, you're going to see success 100% you're going to not see success 100% of the time. But if you use dynamic ads, even at smaller budgets, you're going to get better and better over time, and you shouldn't be spending money you can't afford, right? Don't gamble with money you can't lose. Very helpful, Adam. You're welcome. Miguel, listen very carefully, this man. Love it. Miguel, by the way, joined the Facebook Ads MBA program, exited his business, and is doing great things. Someone recommended this channel to me. Where would you get an e-com business from 0 to 50K a month? This is a very vague question. Not all niches are growth. I love this, but hey, look, Abdi, the Meta Master webinar is perfect for you. Please come and check it out. DisruptorSchool.com/Meta Master webinar. It's free, 100% free. Go ahead and check it out. This will help you get to that place, right? More of a step-by-step guide, understanding how to do it from step one, what you should be doing. Is the 322 ad structure also good on TikTok? Honestly, Jonas, I've done it on TikTok and it does work. I'm not the TikTok expert though, so you should probably be asking different people than me. All right, man, we are almost at 7 days. Okay. Hey, Charlie, I have a Dabba campaign running on a micro budget. Is it fair to assume that products with the higher impression count are items that people are currently in the market for? And those are the higher CTR, the ones people are interested in. Should I also run a DPA ad set in the same campaign to compare it? Does DPA always serve some of the product that they browsed or added to cart previously? So what he's talking about is you have a catalog ad campaign running on a small budget. The products with a higher impression account are probably one that have more visual appeal right away. Click-through rate, however, is an inactionable metric when it comes to Facebook ads. Anybody that says, here's how to optimize your Facebook ads and then mentions click-through rate has no idea what they're doing. Just ignore that. It's a nonsense metric when it comes to Facebook ads. There are way too many variables that metric has no actionability. And if anybody wants to challenge me on that, please, let's have a conversation. So Sarah, I hope that helps. And if you were to set up a retargeting ad set next to your dynamic ads to broad audiences, it would show them the products that they browsed and added to cart previously, as well as the products they're in market for. Awesome. Okay, man, 7 days, 7 days. Okay, we're going to get through the 7 days, and then we're going to get back to the chat. 1 sec. I need a sip. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Let's bang this stuff out. Okay. Can you just let the flexible ads run and not have a champions ad set? Yes. 322 structure. I'm quite curious. Have you ever explored tools? We actually got to this a week ago, so I'm going to let them be. Okay, cool. All right. One more question from the chat. Just started drop shipping in India. Need the best structure to run your Facebook ads. Honestly, go and check out the channel. The very first video is how to set up your ad account. The very second most popular video in there is how to optimize stuff. Go watch that 2.5, 3 hours worth of stuff, and you'll be set up. Watch that before our webinar on Wednesday. Join the webinar on Wednesday. You'll be light years ahead of basically everybody else. Does dynamic ads mean dynamic creative or dynamic placement? Dynamic ads means dynamic creative. Almost all the time. Another version of a dynamic ad would be a DPA ad, where it's a catalog ad. But when we talk about dynamic ads, almost always we're talking about dynamic creative, or now called flex ads. Awesome. Let's remove this. So let's get to, actually, yeah, we're gonna take a break real quick, drop in the 5-minute Friday for this week, and then get to the third step for meta ad scaling success. Okay. So we do this every week. If you have not, by the way, subscribed to the channel, you're going to be missing all of this stuff. So let me help you out by showing you the secret to Facebook ad. Ever wondered what makes a good Facebook ad? Yes! I'm going to show you what separates ads that succeed from those that fail, and how to create ads that scale. Is it the perfect headline, or the right copy, or maybe the best video ever? Today we're going to break it all down and show you how to get the best results for the least amount of time, so that you can spend your time doing what really matters.
Here we go again.
All right, before we get started, I just want to thank you for being here. These 5-minute Friday videos have been blowing up the channel. We're now getting over 1,000 subs a week. So if you like this video, go ahead and like this video. And apparently only 35% of the people that are binging this channel are actually subscribed. So let's go ahead and fix that. Hit the subscribe button too if I've earned a little bit of your attention. You don't want to miss any more of these. All right, that being said, let's throw some time up on the clock and get started. What defines a good ad? A good ad isn't about a high-pressure sales pitch or flashy gimmicks. It's about creating content that people on Facebook and Instagram want to see. Here's why. Unlike Google or Amazon or email,
you've got mail.
In Facebook, ads that people enjoy get shown to a higher quality person more often, and more of them for a lower price. Just think about Instagram Reels. The videos that are most engaging get the most views. So remember the golden rule. A good ad attracts attention, appeals to your target audience, and gives them a good experience on the platform. So let's break down the key elements of a really good ad. To create a good ad, you have to understand the human psychology of how somebody experiences social media. First, we have the creative. This is the image or the video in your ad. This is 80 to 85% of why somebody stops their scroll. And by the way, these numbers and data are backed by dozens and dozens of studies going back over a decade.
Yes, science!
And there's a reason why your Facebook newsfeed and your Instagram looks a lot like YouTube and a lot like banner ads and the newspaper, because this is how people think. Your image or creative needs to be thumb-stopping and create a lean-in experience like this. If I'm just scrolling, I know this is a remote. If I'm just scrolling and I'm like, oh, now my thumb is stopped and I'm like, oh, we've stopped the thumb and we've created a lean-in experience. That's the job of the creative. Then we get to the second part, which is the headline. And this is generally 5 to 10% of why somebody clicks on your ad to go to your website, because it gives context to the creative and ultimately inspires the action. Then from there, we get to the third part, which is the primary text, the words above the video. This is ultimately only 5 or 10% of why somebody does something and comes after the headline in that experience. It should give context to the rest of the ad, and ultimately, most people by the time they've gotten to the primary text have decided whether or not they're going to click on the ad. So it's only there to get people across the finish line if they haven't already made that decision.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Now, before we move on, we have to remember something really important. Facebook ads don't make the sale. They earn attention and drive traffic. The creative stops the scroll, the headline creates intent, and the primary text finishes the job. It's like the handshake, the elevator pitch, and the close. Generally, by the time the elevator pitch is over, the person has already made their decision.
Here comes the money.
So let's talk about avoiding the biggest mistakes. The biggest mistake most advertisers make is they try to get a sale with every single ad, and they define success for an ad by how many sales it can take credit for. These types of high-pressure, direct response ads are what we call bottom-of-funnel ads. They're not the reason somebody walked into the store. They're also not the reason somebody was interested in the product, but they are there when somebody has their credit card out and ready to buy.
I'll have what she's having.
Now, while these ads can look really efficient, they have two big problems. First, if you run a 4PI analysis, which again, there's a video up here you can check out, you'll see that they have a very high frequency and a very high CPM. And number two, these aren't scalable and they're not very sustainable because they rely on being the very last touch point in the customer journey. If you only focus on bottom of funnel ads, you'll miss the bigger picture of creating sustainable growth. Now, this might absolutely work for people with a small budget. You can see success, but it's not scalable, it's not sustainable, and ultimately it's not going to get you the growth that you could really achieve. It's not the best way to see the success that you deserve.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
So how do we create ads that scale? To create a good Facebook ad, focus on making content that your target customer wants to see. Use engaging creatives to stop the scroll. Use compelling headlines to earn the click. And leverage that primary text to overcome objections and really get somebody over the finish line if they're not quite there yet. You have to avoid chasing the idea of making a sale with every single ad. Think of your ads as part of a much larger customer journey. Remember that nobody can hit buy on your ad. They have to go to your website. And they're probably on your email list.
You've got mail.
And they're probably searching around with you and your competitors. The journey for somebody to buy from you has 1,000 touch points that you're not in control of. So by focusing on engagement and scalability, you'll be able to create ads that grow your business long term.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Now, if this video helped you create really good ads, go ahead and do me a favor and like the video and comment if you have any questions. And hey, if you have more questions and you really want to engage, join our live calls every Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time right here on YouTube, and we'll engage in real time. I'm also going to go over all of your questions. I'm going to give you breaking news so that you can see what other people are going to be talking about in a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years. If you want to have success, this is your cheat code. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Bye. Fantastic. Okay. So that was this week's 5 Minute Friday. I hope you enjoyed that. We're doing that every single Friday. Please check it out. Also, love to see people starting up. A man from Brazil but live in California. I see you, buddy. We're getting folks to sign up for the Meta Master webinar. I love it. My email blew up there during that video. So fantastic. Okay. All that to be said, let's get to the third step for meta ad scaling success. And what we need to understand here is incrementality. The purpose of your ads is to scale your successful business. The purpose of your ad is not, I repeat, is not to make sales. Now, I know that that's a big, like, what do you mean I'm running ads to not make sales? The point is this. Your website makes sales. Your ads can get people interested in doing stuff. That's great. But the purpose of the ad is to attract the attention of somebody who's likely to buy. The purpose of the ad is to get somebody interested in buying. But the greatest ad in the world to a bad website won't make sales. The point is, more importantly, what I want you to understand is, how does your business make money? Now, if the way you make money is exclusively by running Facebook ads, I think you have a bad business. Focus on that. Now, the way most businesses, if you want to make an 8 or 9 figure business, the way you make money is by getting people to buy from you more than once. If you do not have people buying from you more than once, what you have is an opportunity. You've created a salesman job for you. You do not have a business. Business is about the acquisition of future cash flow at a profit. If you do not have future cash flow, you do not have a business. You are a salesperson. Why this matters is because let's break down where you make money. The second transaction is way more profitable than the first. Reoccurring revenue is the most profitable revenue that you'll make. Now, on that first transaction, you have the opportunity of improving conversion rate and AOV. But that's somebody who's ready to buy. Now, above somebody on your website, we begin to get into marketing. The purpose of your ads is to amplify the opportunity of your marketing channels and ultimately to get more people to buy a second time. So for you to make the most amount of money, you need the highest volume of people to buy a second time. So then you start to build your website around trying to sell things to get people to buy a second time. And then we go up the marketing funnel to try to attract the attention of people who are likely to go to your website and buy something that gets them to buy a second time. Now, that marketing funnel, the step above your website is what we call inventory marketing. This is email, SMS, people in your Slack group or Discord community, people on your broadcast channels for Instagram, folks who have opted into seeing your messaging. Above that, we have intent-based marketing. This is PPC. This is search and this is search and Amazon, stuff like that. The purpose of search and Amazon is to get somebody who's interested in buying a product to go to your website or your Amazon listing to buy from you. So often intent and inventory can be side by side in the bottom of the funnel. Somebody's interested in buying. Sometimes brands' intent-based marketing is below inventory. It's the way your business model works. You have to understand that. But the point is, the purpose of those ads is to get somebody who's likely to buy the thing that's most likely to get them to buy a second time. So you're trying to attract the attention of a buyer who looks like the person who's going to buy from you more than once. The purpose of your Facebook ads is to amplify the volume of people that know about you enough to have intent or to join your inventory marketing system. Now, if you focus on the efficiency of your Facebook ads by getting the CPA to be as low as possible, which is likely in a way, according to step 1 and step 2 of this, in a way that is likely to get you a higher CPM and a higher frequency, you are reaching fewer people who are more likely to buy. The problem is, while that can make money, it does so at the expense of the volume of people who are searching for you, the volume of emails, the volume of SMS and Instagram followers, etc. The more efficient you make the top of the marketing funnel, the less the volume is throughout the entire funnel. And ultimately, that means you have fewer people who are likely to buy a second time because you have fewer people who bought from you a first time. And ultimately, Facebook is your least efficient marketing channel in your mix until you get into television and radio and stuff like that. So what I want you to understand is success in your ads is attracting the kind of attention of people who are likely to search for you and respond to your emails, because those have been optimized to get people who are likely to buy from you. And that buying behavior has been optimized towards those who are likely to buy a second time. The more effective you make your Facebook ads, generally speaking, when you follow classic scammer thoughts about Facebook efficiency and cost caps and CPAs and all that stuff, what you're doing is starving growth potential for day one profitability by making your least effective channel more effective in a way that starves the volume of everything else. That is bad for business. If you want to know more about this kind of stuff, again, disruptorschool.com/meta master webinar. It's live. It's free. It's on Wednesday. I will see you there. Let's go, baby girl. Why don't you and I